So we talking about cheating in relationships. I don't know. Did you catch that Hurt Bay video?
That shit was hilarious. I saw it. I saw that sit down, and I thought what ended up happening there is you were seeing people who don't know how to be in relationships deal with each other, because the dude, apparently from everybody could tell, like he had all the signs of nigga never gave a fuck. And she was just like, I remember when we got together, and he was like, I don't remember that. I just remember I fucked a whole lot of hoes. He wouldn't even give a fuck. How many times did you cheat on me? I don't know. I wasn't counting.
Because the backstory there though, he had did a whole nother interview about the incident. Apparently they were already broken up for like a couple years.
Yeah.
And they recorded that like as a part of a segment to speak on a relationship from 3 years ago. So she's crying, but he don't, because it was 3 years ago or whatever the case would be. So
yo, there's the general rule: you fuck 5 people, you forget what that 6th pussy is like. You don't remember what number 6 back is like when you fuck 5 people. That's just hard. That's just really hard to remember. So it's hard to give a fuck when you done lived all this life, and then she want to come back and cry, and you like, I don't know what to tell you.
You ain't bae no more. So.
Yeah, like it don't matter. Like I done seen everything. I done seen your stretch marks. I done seen toilet paper between your butt cheeks. I don't give a fuck. Like you ain't no bad chick to me no more. So I'll tell you the truth. Once a chick stop being bad in your eyes, you tell her the truth. Yeah, I fucked a lot of them hoes. Yes. You ain't bad no more. Yes, I fucked them hoes.
But like I said before, if a dude could just go out there and cheat, none of this would be a problem. She wouldn't be famous. He wouldn't be famous. They'll probably still be together.
If people didn't have that unrealistic expectation, then no, it wouldn't have happened that way. If people could just be honest and stick to that, and then when they feel like things are different, tell him you can't be with him no more because things are different. Be like, you know what, I like you too much now. We can't do this because I'm not about to sit there and be in your phone and tell you this and tell you that. And he's gonna be like, no, it's good. No, just let him go. He gonna get over it. He gonna fuck about 3-4 people, some more, and he'll forget. But you gotta let him go so that you don't get cheated. Because the thing that you don't want to do is say you don't want nothing serious and then feel like you want something serious. And then if he says like, I don't want nothing serious, you try to trap him and say, oh, so you just gonna keep fucking me like this? Like you thought you could just fuck me and that's it? And now he don't want to be an asshole.
So you're just a fan of open communication. Say what you feel.
Communicating, man. People gotta talk, man. Niggas gotta talk. Everybody need to talk to each other. People get too busy trying to not talk to each other as much as possible. That's the real thing. People try to avoid talking to each other as much as possible.
That is very true. It seems like they kind of avoid the confrontation. And since they don't like confrontation, we just sweep shit under the rug, and then it comes to a whole point.
Yeah, and then shit is crazy. Then everything is wild, and people are being called liars and this and that. You end up on World Star. Yeah, man, I done seen enough of them World Star videos. Chicks beating the shit out of this dude's car or him. Why? Because he waited too long to tell her the truth. You ain't bad to me no more. I don't want to just keep you. Yeah.
I think that hurt females the most. And once they realize, you know what I mean, that they don't have that power over you no more.
Yeah, like you stopped, whatever happened with you stopped wanting to be with her like serious, and that's a blow to the ego. It is. Everybody's got ego, and that kills a woman's ego, or it would kill a man's ego the same way. If a chick you thought you like really was cool with and was really feeling, and she was like, I'm tired now, I want to do something else. You like,
I think
like, what?
I think dudes been getting rejected their whole life. Like I'm used to that shit. Wake up one day, bitch, she not answering the phone. That's life. That's just, you know what I mean? Like
I understand that. I used to. Here's my situation. Back in the day, what would end up happening is I would always get people be like, yeah, and then not answer a phone call. And then it turned into like this weird thing where like now everybody would tell me some shit like they want to get serious.
That's crazy.
So like now it's at that point where like people want to get serious now because everybody's older and all this stuff.
It's the age.
Yeah, it's the growing up. You don't want to run around. Nobody want to be 30, 35, 40 running around and shit. Like maybe dudes want to run around, but even dudes start thinking a little bit like I don't actually want to keep having to chase this girl down and give me a new, like, you like new chicks that walk by, but you actually learn to appreciate the things that a consistent person gives you. So that shit is something tough to deal with, but I do understand that aspect of in the beginning, especially just learning how to, it's like sales. It's like if you ever sell anything, like learning how to sell something for real, because people will yes you to death, but they won't give you their credit card. They won't actually pay for something. You got to get them to actually pay for something and, like, you know, go on a date. That, fuck you, whatever it is. So that was the work for me.
So now that you're doing comedy, did a lot of girls from your past, like, has anybody pop back up to be like, oh yeah, you're doing comedy now, so
I had a couple people. I've had a few people pop up since doing stand-up on some, like, I didn't know, like, this was a real thing. Like, I heard you did a little stand-up, whatever, but I didn't know. I saw that picture of you with DC. I didn't know that was, like, for real. I like that. You really out here for real? This is like, yeah, like, I do stand-up for real. Like, this ain't no joke. Like, I didn't just, like, go on the gram and be like, I'm gonna be a comedian one day, and then never did no shit. Like, yeah, I'm actually working. I'm doing shows and all that. So people, what ends up happening is a lot of times, even with women, they just like to see a dude that's elevating his life. Like, his life keeps changing all over the place. So, like, the worst answer you could ever give a chick when you meet her, a chick from your past, and when she's like, oh, so what you been up to? And when you answer the same shit, the worst answer you could ever give a woman is, I'm doing the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? We just, you know, working, blah, 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 same shit. You know what I'm saying? We out here cooling it. That's the worst answer you can give to a woman if you actually want her to pay attention to you and actually kick you some vibes. When a chick is like, so what you been up to? You downplay it a little bit, but you like, you know what I'm saying? We started this new thing, been going around traveling a bit for this new line of work I'm in, did a couple shows. I'm sure you saw a couple. But it's been real cool. Met a lot of people. Then she's like, oh, okay, like, you doing a thing. Like, you're not throwing it in her face like, oh yeah, we getting money, we doing. You didn't do all that, but you just said, you made it sound like it's just a part of your life now. You just travel, you just do shows with people, and you meet cool people. You just said it casually because obviously this is how you live now. So when you talk to chicks from your past, you got to tell them, never say the same shit. Never say I'm doing the same shit as when you saw me last. Always be changing up, and the way you change it up is by actually doing something different. Niggas got to actually do something.
Or you could just exaggerate what you already do. I didn't say lie, so if
you could exaggerate. It's always better to be honest, though.
But I'm saying, you could, like, build a website, right? You can be like, oh, I built a web. She'll be like, what are you doing? Oh, you know, I got this blog, you know what I'm saying? We doing numbers a little bit. You didn't say how many numbers. You didn't say your blog is relevant, but you're doing something. So,
you're doing something? Well, here's the thing. You can do that, but what that does for you now is it puts that in your heart and in your mind. I need to work so that in case anybody call me on my bullshit, I actually have numbers. Because the worst thing to do is someone's like, show me your website. And then you like, oh, you know, that shit down right now. You know what I'm saying? We close for maintenance. So eventually you don't want to be a liar in your own head. So you'll do the sort of thing. So it's not bad to say you're doing something and maybe push it. But the thing is, you got to hold yourself accountable to that and actually make it true.
That's true. Because, like, with me, a lot of times when girls pop up, not that I'm not interested, but I don't be fucking listening. So I tend to give them that answer. I be like, oh, you know, same shit, because I'm not really paying you no attention.
Yeah.
So you smart.
Yeah, it sends the message out. Even if you're not trying to fuck them, it does at least send the message out. Like, if they say, oh, you know who I saw today? DJ Mac. That boy, he talking about he doing blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, that shit goes around. And then someone, by chance, just randomly goes to a Mac show now. You know what I'm saying? Like that just happens because they heard from somebody. Because maybe your close people ain't gonna go, like the people you actually know. But you don't know how other people, like friends of friends of friends, feel. They might think that's enough to make them go to something. You never know who is willing to take a risk and just go to some shit because they heard you did something and they bored and they just want to go do something. So they'll just go watch.
You're a professional, bro.
I try to be. I try to be.